Hi everybody, this is Holly, and I am here with little Luke. Well, not little Luke, but big Luke. This is John Luke, and I am going to do a changing video with him and a tag. And so I just wanted to say I am just on top of the world right now because I went to church this morning. First time we've been back to church in 9 weeks. We've been doing our church through streaming services, so we've actually still been, quote, going to church, but I could actually leave the house and go to the physical building. So we're doing it in stages. We're still being smart. We were sitting every other pew, and we had 2 services, the 9 a.m., which is for senior adults, and then an 11 a.m. for everybody else. So anyway, it just felt so good to be back in the house of the Lord this morning. I just cannot tell y'all. So I'm excited, and I am going to be here with changing Luke, because yesterday I did a video with all of my girls. I had 13 girls. I had 13 girls and 11 boys. And I did a late theme Thursday yesterday, which I haven't got to answer comments yet because I went to bed kind of early last night and then in church today, but I'm going to get to that. But I wanted to come on and change one of the boys. And I'm going to put this on Luke, hope it fits him. It's a 3 to 6 months, and it's a little brown coverall shorts, and it's got a white shirt with navy blue or royal blue, I guess, green, beige, and red and yellow stripes on it. And then I'm going to be putting these navy blue shoes on that have red and white anchors, and this little red bucket hat. Yeah, so exciting. Come on, Luke. He's a sleepy boy. He is a big boy. This is the real born Joseph at 3 months. And I actually did meet his mother and his baby brother. He's now probably about 6 years old, and he's skinny as a rail. So he does lose all that chunk among stuff. But I met his little brother, who was the same age, 3 months, and he was almost as chunky. He was 2 pounds lighter than Joseph. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of nice to meet the mom and everything. But so I'm going to do a tag today. Oh, and for all of you who have been asking, I'm doing much better. I'm doing very well. I've gotten over the allergic reaction, the contact dermatitis from the adhesive, and things are progressing well. I'm still a little sore, but that takes time, I know. I don't have a t-shirt on hand, but that's all right. So anyway, the tag I'm going to be doing is by Suzy Q's Happy Little Haven, and it was she wanted us to tell about our favorite teacher. So when I heard that, immediately it popped into my mind. My favorite teacher was Mr. Claiborne. He was a 5th grade teacher, and I was in the 4th grade when, you know, first came aware of him. He was young and handsome and very sweet and very kind. And as a 4th grader, I used to have to go up to the 5th grade for reading because I was an advanced reader. So I would go up there and have reading with Mr. Claiborne. Oh, it was just the highlight of my day. And then when I moved up into the 5th grade, he was my teacher, and I was so excited because I was so scared he was not going to be there by the time I got there, but he was. And I've always been the one who was the teacher's pet. You know, I made straight A's, I paid attention to school, did all the homework, did everything. So I was, you know, usually teacher's pet. And we used to have devotion every morning. We would have a time of devotion, and then prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And this was the first thing every morning. Well, we had gone to the library the day before and checked out books. And I checked out, and I know this is going to surprise a lot of y'all, I checked out a joke book. And so I was sitting in class the next morning. I got a little chub up here. I got to snap these. During the devotion time, not paying attention, I was reading my joke book. And I came to this one joke, and guys, you know how if you see a joke or hear a joke or something, and it just happens to, let's make sure y'all looking, yeah, see here, it just hits you funny. It just hits you just the right way. Well, yeah, that's what happened with this. And these straps are going to be long because he's short in the body, thick in the body, so he's wide as he is long. So you have to get things a bigger size, but then they're really long on him. But anyway, I read this joke, and it was during the devotion, and I couldn't help it, guys. I just burst out laughing. And Mr. Claiborne came over, and he asked me what was so funny, and I could hardly speak, and I was just laughing so hard, and I told him I was reading this joke book, and he said, well, why don't you share the joke with everybody so we can all laugh? And I did, and we did all had a big laugh, and it was nice that he didn't get angry or upset with me for not paying attention, you know. But anyway, I still remember that joke to this day, and it probably won't get y'all, it won't strike you as it's that funny, but 11-year-old me, it did. So you want to hear the joke? Okay, here's the joke. A little girl was trying to sew, and she was getting extremely frustrated, and her mother asked her what was the problem. She said, I can't thread this needle. And her mother said, why not? And she said, because it keeps shutting its eye. I don't know, to this day that still cracks me up. Oh my gosh, because you can just picture this needle with an eyeball, you know, the eye of the needle. And every time she goes to stick the little thread in, it shuts its eye. I don't know. That just cracked me up. It really did. And, you know, why I'm going to comb your hair and then put a hat on you, but it just seems the thing to do, doesn't it? So anyway, that was one incident with Mr. Claiborne that I thought was really cool of him, that he didn't get mad at me for not paying attention or listening during the devotion, but he let me share the joke, and he thought it was funny too. They all laughed. They all thought it was funny. And then there was this other incident during that year where it was Halloween, and he had given us an assignment to write a scary story. And so we're all sitting there in class, everybody's quiet, we're writing, and Mr. Claiborne is walking up and down the aisle, right, looking over the student's shoulders. So he comes to me, and he taps me on the shoulder, and he points to the back of the room and does like this, like the closet. And he winks at me. And then puts his finger up to his lips like, shh, you know, don't say anything. There you go, big boy. So I quietly get up from my seat, and I go back in the back of the room, and I get in the closet and close the door very quietly. And I'm just standing there thinking, what is he doing? So anyway, after a few minutes, I hear him say to the other people in the classroom, he said, you know, we have a ghost in this room, a spirit. And he started embellishing this little tale with everybody, and he was telling them that he can communicate with the spirit. And by this time I caught on to what he was trying to do. And so he said, "Oh, spirit of the classroom, if you are here, tap on the door 3 times." And so I tapped 3 times. I mean, you should have heard these kids. They were screaming. And then he said, yeah, he just kept doing this and having me do different things. And then he said, finally, "Spirit of the classroom, come forth." And I opened up those doors, and those kids jumped up and screaming and were running for the door. It was so funny. So that was a lot of fun, and that was probably, I would say, was my best year. I loved Mr. Claiborne. And one thing later, I was 5th grade, 11 years old. Okay, so I finished school. I go through the rest of elementary school, all through high school. I go to college and nursing school. And now I'm working. And this was in Atlanta, Georgia. And then by the time I graduated nursing school, I was married and living in another town close to Atlanta, but it's the suburbs of Atlanta. And give Luke a bunny here. Bring a bunny. Bring a bunny. I'm working in the operating room, right? And so one day I'm in the cystoscopy room, and I get this patient come in, and he looked so familiar to me. Yes, familiar but not. And so I get his chart, and I start looking over, and guess who it is? None other than Mr. Claiborne. After all those years, here I am in my mid-20s or late 20s, and I'm doing surgery, and he is one of my patients. And he actually remembered me. And I was just flabbergasted, but he did. He remembered me. We had a great little reunion, and then I had to take him into surgery. But anyway, so that was a fun trip down memory lane for me. Gail, thank you so much for that. Y'all check out Suzy Q's Happy Little Haven if you haven't been there, and participate in this tag. It was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy seeing little John Luke here get his change, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and just chillax and have a good day. Get out, get some fresh air, take a drive, or whatever you can, just to keep your spirits up. But it's getting better, guys. Okay, so thanks for stopping by. I love you all, and I will be answering your comments from yesterday's video pretty soon. So take care. See you soon. Bye bye.